When you look at the facts of Keystone XL, it's hard to believe that anybody takes it seriously. How could such an obvious boondoggle get serious consideration? As it so often happens in Washington, it comes down to money. Like so many things in Washington, energy policy is heavily influenced by campaign contributions and lobbying.
I mean, they're called big oil for a reason, right? They're one of the most profitable industries in the world, and they are throwing that money into Washington, D.C. They're buying politicians. When we see politicians that vote the oil agenda, we see, 500 times as much contributions coming in from oil companies.
The organization that's been handing out cash on behalf of Keystone XL is the American Petroleum Institute. An industry lobbying group funded by major oil companies, API spends tens of millions of dollars annually on campaign contributions and lobbying.
I concur that there is global warming and there's climate change. The issue, however, I think still is to be debated. Is it man-made?
If you're a believer in the Bible, one would have to say the Great Flood is an example of climate change. And that certainly wasn't because mankind had overdeveloped hydrocarbon energy.
I call them the alarmists, the same ones who said back in 1975 that an ice age was coming, we're all going to die. They contend that the weather is getting warmer and has since the turn of the century.
API has so much money and so much influence on Capitol Hill, some say they wield veto power over energy policy.
You cannot move legislation without their consent. They are a de facto fourth branch of government.
Faced with that kind of powerful opposition, Keystone's opponents have to fight harder and smarter.
While API and the oil industry have more money, we have more people on our side. TransCanada set out to build this pipeline 5 years ago, and they still haven't. And that's saying something about the efforts of activists throughout the country in stopping this pipeline, despite all of the moneyed, invested interests in seeing it happen.